Hello, welcome to this update for Australia and Oceania. Sorry for the late update because it's technically already raining there and the event is already happening, but there's still time for the worst because there's this cyclone forming near eastern Australia. It'll be extra tropical, but it will bring a lot of rain and some very strong winds to the east coast of Australia, especially New South Wales, and it might be classified as a bomb cyclone if the pressure drops a lot, but we are still seeing because like the GFS model here, for example, shows like 1010 millibars now and it goes all the way to 987 millibars by tomorrow, July 1st. So this might be a very dangerous bomb cyclone and might affect New Zealand, the cold front, by July 3rd. So we are watching this very closely, especially for Australia now, because as you can see, it's already raining now. Many spots of southern Queensland into New South Wales, and then later today, June 30th, some heavy rain spots of New South Wales, and it's already night there in Australia because this is European time here, so it's already night there. So especially the worst impacts, I think, on July 1st and July 2nd in New South Wales. Shows Tuesday, July 1st, especially in Sydney, there'll be some very heavy rain there as this spins around Australia, and then shows like July 2nd near Victoria, New South Wales, some snow as well, and the rain continues. This goes towards New Zealand later, so please be careful in those areas. There's the icon shows as well. This goes there. Let's put like pressure here too. So this goes Monday, Tuesday, and the icon does strengthen this to around 988 millibars on July 1st, and later does strengthen more to 982, so a very potent extratropical cyclone. This goes still some heavy rain by July 2nd, shows and then it shows it turning west, turning east later towards New Zealand by the end of July 2nd into July 3rd. But especially on today, June 30th until July 2nd, the worst impacts. So please be careful, and especially rainfall because this year New South Wales has already seen some flooding a few months ago, so this could cause more. So until July 5th, does show some spots New South Wales to some 260 meters, even Sydney to 120 from this system. So there might be some big disruptions, especially the wind from this, some power outages as well. So be careful in those areas. Some 200 meters, a few spots, 195 further south to 145, and shows more around Victoria, in eastern Victoria, more spots there, especially like show spots central northern New South Wales too, so 103, and further north, not that much, but it's raining there now, so yeah, be careful in those areas. The GFS is similar, it shows to 156 millimeters in Sydney, the GFS, showing even more than the European, so please be careful. Those areas shows there, and shows like 184 further south near South Wales, so be careful with flooding and landslides possible with this as well. So please be careful. There's the icon too. It has like 109 in Sydney, and a lot further south near the coast there, especially southern New South Wales into Victoria. The icon goes all the way into Victoria, the the areas with more than 100 meters, especially like some spots even to 89 meters, and more there near the coast. So please stay safe in those areas. Be careful. There's the access as well. Shows like shows some spots in Victoria close to 100 meters, but especially New South Wales to 150 to 174, and just some 88 meters in Sydney. So for now, the European models is the one that shows most rain from all the models. but also a dangerous scenario. So be careful those areas. There's the Canadian model here too, a different one. Shows like the system there now and like it strengthens to 97, and then the front goes towards New Zealand later. So please be careful in those areas. There's the precipitation too. It shows around like in those areas to 150 millimeters in a few spots, but the Canadian doesn't show that much, but it does show a lot of rain in some areas. So we'll see how it goes, but especially be careful in those areas. Some heavy rain, like rough surf as well. It's very large waves and strong winds. So be careful in those areas. There's like for the wind gusts on the European model shows as the low pressure develops there, right close to the coast. Some strong gusts by tonight and especially like tomorrow. July 1st, so this goes Monday, shows there close to the coast. Let's remove this. So shows like even 299 km per gust in a few spots on the European models, some 8 km per gust. So Tuesday, this goes shows in Sydney momentarily to 100 km per gust on the European model by July 1st, closer to nighttime. So shows it's a 96 km per gust, 105 near the coast. So please stay safe. So this goes shows still strong by Wednesday, July 2nd. A few inland spots, some gusts as well. And Lord Howe Island should have some very strong winds too. And this is a weird situation because it shows two separate low pressures trying to spin around each other. One near Lord Howe Island, another further south, the dominant one. So this is the dominant system. But here it's trying to get a circulation. So we'll keep watching. There's Wednesday into Thursday, still shows some winds on Thursday, and it finally goes away on Friday. So yeah, be careful in those areas. Please stay safe. There's the GFS, shows Monday into tomorrow, like Tuesday, July 1st. The GFS doesn't have that much in terms of wind gusts, but it does have to 78 to 81 km per gust. And this is already a lot for some areas. It can already cause disruptions. So be careful those areas. This goes shows around Sydney, some 67 to 70 km per gust, and then it goes away. So please be careful. The icon is one of the strongest models in terms of wind. It always shows a lot, but let's see here. Shows like some spots on the coast by July 1st, some stronger gusts, but especially as this strengthens, shows like late on July 1st. In Sydney, some 88 km per gust further south, 72. This goes, it shows the worst winds further out to sea, but it does have some spots inland, some strong winds too. But I think that the European model is the one that has the worst impacts, and also in terms of wind and rain. So be aware in those areas. It shows like the icons, some spots further inland, some strong gusts as well. So stay safe. Wednesday, this goes might pass near Lord Howe Island on July 3rd. So be aware there as well. This might cause some dangerous conditions. Then July 3rd still shows in the coast of Australia some strong gusts. And then by Friday, July 4th, this finally goes away. So stay safe in those areas. Please be careful. There's the axis for the winds. It does show there this strengthens and does strengthen in a very crazy way. It shows this front in Lord Howe Islands, some strong gusts already by July 1st. And then Tuesday, especially near the coast of Australia, the axis has some 90 km per gust in a few spots, and some areas there close to 100. Yes, it has some 79 km per gust in Sydney and more spots there. So July 1st, this goes does show sometimes to 81 km per gust in Sydney, and right on the coast shows more. So please be careful in those areas. Many disruptions might occur. So shows there like further into July 2nd, more spots in the interior New South Wales, and then throughout July 2nd, still some strong wind on the coast and North Island, and then July 3rd still shows close to the coast, some strong gusts. This goes towards New Zealand. So stay safe in those areas. Please be careful. And shows here like for snow, let's see if it has something. So this is the axis, I think. So yeah, it shows there are spots of New South Wales into Victoria, so 1 centimeter, like close to 2 centimeters, a few spots until July 5th, and in Tasmania, a few spots to 2 centimeters. So it doesn't show that much. There's the European, it has more actually. It has to like some 7 centimeters, Victoria, and it has more mountains throughout New South Wales with this snow as well, like 7 centimeters, those mountains in central New South Wales. So this is a possibility. Be careful in those areas, but I won't believe there's snow there until more models show it, because sometimes the European shows these random spots, but the GFS kind of shows as well a few mountains further central northern South Wales to 2 centimeters. So be aware in those areas. There's like further to Victoria in New South Wales some 2 centimeters or more. So be careful. There's the icon very little, just like 1 centimeter, but it has these areas further north in New South Wales. So this area is likely to have some snow. Like this area is located south of Waucha and to the east of Tamworth. There might be some high elevations here, some mountains. So there might be centimeters of snow or two there. So yeah, be aware and stay safe. And in case you are curious to have like more precise data, you can use this high resolution models here for New South Wales. So only until July 1st, this high resolution model already shows 6 centimeters in that mountain there, and southern New South Wales to 10 centimeters of snow. So this is a good one to use in rainfall. Just in the next 1 day and 6 hours, this model has 144 millimeters, 157 Sydney, just the next day or so. And these models are usually very accurate, so please be careful flooding those areas, especially 170 further south. So stay safe in those areas. This one's good for wind gusts as well because these low pressures are already developing there. So these high resolution models can exaggerate a lot sometimes, especially in terms of cyclones. But they can be very accurate. So this one shows parts of the coast 117 km per Gus Tuesday, and then throughout July 1st, these strong winds spread across more portions of New South Wales. So stay safe in those areas. Please be careful. And if we zoom out here, you can see how big this system is. So stay safe in those areas. Please be careful. This will bring some rough seas as well, especially it might even bring more towards Australia, New Zealand, so some rougher seas, but even might produce some swells towards New Caledonia, burnt pine, some rough seas as well. So be careful in those areas. And let's see here. So towards New Zealand shows like it might arrive by July 2nd in New Zealand. Some spots there. So Tuesday shows around later by July 1st. The greatest impacts should occur around July 3rd in New Zealand, Thursday. So shows there this front, many storms on Thursday, especially in Auckland, shows some heavy rain too, and more spots of the North Island. So be careful in those areas. Thursday there shows more storms. By Friday, North Island is mostly clear, but still shows like some showers, especially Friday afternoon, a few spots. But the South Island does show this front as well, a lot of snow possible in the interior mountains of the South Island there. But in terms of heavy rain, the heaviest might be further north. So be aware, still shows some rain on Friday, spots of New Zealand there into Saturday, still shows some showers in the North Island by July 5th. So be careful those areas, especially the strong cold front shows like the GFS. It has this front, some storms around Burnt Pie as well. So be aware. Then shows like July 2nd, spots of central New Zealand. The GFS has some heavy rain in the North and South Island and in the North Island too. So be careful. And it has more snow in the South Island and some ice. Some spots the mountains to freezing rain. So be aware in those areas, especially the heavy rain and strong winds and everything. So Thursday shows some white tunnies. This cold front passes on July 4th as well. So be aware some heavy rain too. And then there's the icon here. Shows like Tuesday, July 1st, this goes, July 2nd, this approaches. And then the northern tip, right, is some rain July 2nd, this goes, but the icon has some heavy rain July 3rd as well. Spots the north and south island and into the north island, and many thunderstorms, so be careful with some storms as well. There's a link in the description, the New Zealand Met Service, they have many thunderstorm advisors and weather advisors. They're very useful there, so make sure to check that. So there's Thursday here, shows some snow in the South Island, the icon as well. Friday shows spots there, still some showers, it's a storm or two, and then this goes. So be careful in those areas and warn others that this front is coming and everything, especially in Australia, but New Zealand as well. So the icon shows like spots to 100 meters near Northern Island there. And spots of the North and South Island shows close to 100 meters the icon and more rain throughout New Zealand. So be careful those areas. The European does have more shows like to 111 meters, some 74 in Auckland, shows more spots like central northern New Zealand, especially spots in the North Island to 123 meters. So be careful, and does show the northwestern tip of the South Island to more than 100 meters. So be careful this heavy rain, especially some instances of flooding in a few spots. There's the GFS shows like a lot in the North Island, but especially like this northern tip of the South Island to 103 meters in the GFS. But these are specific details that change all the time. So be aware. The excess has more. It has like to 192 meters in spots in the North Island, but the X is very specific. It shows more to like 100, 200 meters a few spots the South Island, so the axis has a lot in those areas, more spots there, so be careful. There's snow here on the axis as well. It shows those central areas of the South Island, a lot of snow to 26 centimeters, 25, 24, and more spots, mainly the central part of the island. And then the North Island, it doesn't show anything. But let's see, there's the European. It has a tiny whisper of snow in the North Island, but like just like half a centimeter, very little. And then it shows like this area is the South Island. It shows all the way to 36 centimeters of snow. Shows more around central part and southern part of the island, especially in the mountains there. So be careful. There's the icon. More snow in the South Island, to 20 centimeters or more. And there's the GFS as well. It has this big area, the South Island, more snow. It doesn't have anything in the north, but it does show more throughout the South Island. So be aware of the snow as well. And yeah, so stay safe in those areas. Please be careful of this system. Now, for Western Australia, we do have a few cold fronts as well, especially right now on June 30th, there's this front around southwestern Australia. So this shows there, especially July 1st, a few showers, a few spots near Perth, especially July 2nd, this second cold front, southwestern Australia. This might produce more storms later by July 3rd in the morning near Perth, more spots there. So this goes and still shows some showers to South Australia by July 5th. Possibly we might have another cold front by July 6th, southwestern Australia. So be aware of those areas. The GFS is a similar thing, more like this cold front July 2nd to July 3rd. More rain in southwestern Australia and some showers. So be careful in those areas. The icon shows like some isolated showers now. July 1st, there are already some showers there, and shows some storms July 2nd into July 3rd. So be careful. Later, still a few showers July 5th near South Australia, and later by July 6th, shows some near New South Wales. So be careful those areas, and yeah. There's the rain accumulation too until July 5th, shows some 38 millimeters in Perth, more spots in Western Australia, some rain, nothing too crazy, but shows the southwestern areas here, some more rain, and even the southern coast there. There's the GFS, some rain on the southern coast and southwestern Australia. So yeah, be careful in those areas, especially with a few storms. So stay safe in those areas. Shows throughout the Solomon Islands, more spots in Papua New Guinea, still some heavy rain around central Papua New Guinea to Western Guinea, so be careful, those tropical downpours still continue there. More spots the Solomon Islands shows in the ocean, in between the islands to more than 100 meters. In the islands themselves shows less, but shows some heavy rain as well sometimes, so be careful in those areas. Shows more around New Caledonia, a few showers with these cold fronts and a few storms. In Fiji, it's quite fine, but it does show a shower too as well. Some 19 millimeters, some 20 millimeters in Samoa, 22, and shows more the strong cold fronts near southern French Polynesia, near like Adamstown, Rikitea. So even shows 200 millimeters in Rikitea, the European model, the GFS, some 56 millimeters in Rikitea. So be careful, the icon 287. So be aware. So here shows like there's some showers now, a front now around Adamstown. This goes and there's this front south of the Cook Islands, July 1st, and show like in Matauras, a few showers, July 2nd. This goes and show like this front extending into French Polynesia, July 4th, summer in Papeete, and then July 4th into July 5th shows more storms in the southernmost atolls. So be careful, especially if that happens, could mean some heavy rain. So be careful in those areas. And the European model, because I showed the icon first, so the European model is also some heavy rain around Western Guinea, Papua New Guinea, especially spots in the Solomon Islands. Be careful of more showers and storms. So be aware. Shows in further north in the Marshall Islands, Micronesia, those regular showers and storms, but always be careful in Kiribati, especially the northern and southern parts of Kiribati, but more showers in many areas. So be aware in those areas. The waves are higher further south you go, but it does show spots in the Western Pacific, sometimes slightly more. But like this goes shows Fiji, Samoa, those areas in Tonga, some 3 meters, sometimes especially near Tonga, and Fiji, it's more calm around there. But this goes now around Australia, it's very big, especially like some 4 to 5 meter waves, some spots near Australia because the cyclone there. But this goes and yeah, and shows later in the next weekend near southern French Polynesia, some high waves too. So be careful. Shows some wind here, like spots of Vanuatu into Tonga, slightly breezier conditions around Kiribati. Those areas it's much smoother, no strong wind, just slightly breezy in the Marshall Islands today. So this goal shows more wind around Tonga, Fiji, those areas. nothing too crazy, but sometimes slightly stronger, especially around the Cook Islands late into next weekend. So be aware, those areas, some small craft advisors, but nothing too crazy. So stay safe, those areas, be careful. Those temperatures are still quite cold around southeastern Australia and New Zealand. So still shows spots in New Zealand some -8. The mountains very cold. Northern New Zealand not as much, but still cold. Shows in Tasmania spots there to -1, says a -3 into New South Wales and Victoria. So be careful in those areas. So Monday, this goes, shows there Tuesday, spots of New South Wales into Victoria, some -5, into Tasmania, big part of Tasmania, into New Zealand there, some -7, the mountains, and shows at the coast some 1 degree in Christchurch, and some other spots to 8 degrees, so 12 in Auckland, and shows some spots central North Island colder too. So be careful in those areas, especially some frost as well. Like we can see here in the side for Australia, some fog and some frost possible many days in those areas. So be careful. So Monday, this coast does get better across southeastern Australia after July 1st. Shows like the night into July 2nd, much better. Just a few spots, New South Wales to 0 degrees, some mountains in South Australia 1 degree, more spots into the Northern Territory, even 4 degrees into Queensland, but shows kind of better there. Just in Tasmania is still colder, and into New Zealand, a -5 in a few spots there's central southern New Zealand. So beware Tuesday, Wednesday still not too cold in Australia, but still some 5 degrees, and some spots colder to 3 degrees. In Tasmania, some 0 degrees, but still southern New Zealand slightly colder. Wednesday to Thursday, and starts getting kind of colder again in New South Wales, Victoria by July 4th. So already shows some -2 again, spots in Tasmania as well. In New Zealand, not as cold in New Zealand, but still some active temperatures in the north, much milder ahead of that cold front. So Friday, this goes, it even shows some milder temperatures, Central Australia, like if you can see here, some 25 degrees in South Australia, more spots in the north. So that shows slightly milder Friday, but this goes into Saturday morning, still colder in those southeastern areas, into New Zealand, some 0 degrees in a few spots. July 4th into July 5th, but still shows like July 5th in the afternoon, much milder, like the northern half of Australia, and like shows into July 6th, shows still nothing too crazy, kind of cold, but not that much in those areas. Then Saturday into Sunday shows like still colder in Tasmania and southern New Zealand, but southeastern Australia is better because there's no true like cold air mass. The cold air mass is further south behind that front in Western Australia. So Sunday this does get colder in New Zealand July 7th according to the European model, but we'll keep watching spots southeastern Australia. But later on, by like after July 10th, we might get colder again in Eastern Australia. But be careful in those areas because this week is still pretty cold, especially this morning there into July 1st. So be careful in those areas, and Northern Australia is much milder. So yeah, be aware. And the southwestern portion, especially like July 5th, shows some 3 degrees. Some days the wind chills might be colder, especially New Zealand, those areas, Southeast Australia, that feels like temperatures colder. But Western Australia doesn't get too cold, just some interior spots behind those fronts, but nothing too crazy. And yeah, be aware shows some days in the Northern Territory even to like 31 degrees, so it might get quite warm there. So yeah, be aware in those areas, especially with this cyclone forming, the heavy rain, strong winds, and everything. So stay safe. The image of the day is this crazy lightning strike from a storm I photographed in 2022. Stay safe.